Hi everyone, welcome to my video. And in this video, I'll be showing us how to design and make a functional login page in Protopie. And I'm going to be recreating exactly this design and its functionality. Let's check it out. I'll click on the login button first, which will give me an error message. Then I have to fill this form. Let me enter the email address. And I'll click on the login button again. I'm still getting the same error message. Then I have to enter the password and click on the login button again. As you can see, I'm able to log in with this password. So let's get right into it. Let me show you how I actually got this. I'll go to my Figma file in which I have my design already. Then I'll click here and go to plugins. If you want to do this, that means you have to have the Protopie plugin installed already on your Figma file. So I'll go to the Protopie, click on the Protopie. So I have to select the design that I want to export. So once I'm able to select this design, then I'll click on the export to export this particular design to my Protopie. Then I'll click on this button, export. And here is my design in Protopie. I will enable this system status bar. If you check this design very well, this input field, if I should run it and click on it, as you can see, nothing is happening. So there's something missing. So to do this, I will go to this text, click on text on this arrow, and select input. And I'll drag here to the exact size that we have on our design. So I have to edit this input field now. And I will come here. I'll reduce the size to 15. That's the placeholder size to 15. Then I'll change the placeholder from placeholder to then I'll give it a radius of 7. I'll remove the fill, give it a border, change the border color. I'll change this to 0.3. Then I'll change it from text to email and return to next. I'll come back to this our design and delete what we have there before and drag this to the exact size. So I will do the same thing for the password. So I will reduce the size to 15. So the placeholder, give it a radius of 7. I will, I will remove the fill and give it a border. Then I will change the from text to, let me use number password. No, let me use number password. Let me use text password. And the return, I'll send it to send. Let me delete what we have there before and drag this one to the exact size that we have there before. So let's try this and see if it works. As you can see, it's actually working. We can actually input something into our input field. So the next thing for me to do now is how to make this login page functional. I'll come to this error message first. I'll click on it. After clicking on it, I will set the opacity to 0. As you can see, it's no longer showing on our login page. Then I'll click on this login button. I'll come to this add trigger. I'll click on add trigger. I have several options here. I'll click on tap. After clicking on tap, I'll come to this small icon. I'll click on it. And I'll come to this condition. I'll click on condition. After clicking on condition, I'll click on this select options. And I'll type in inputs, and I'll select input 1. After selecting input 1, I'll click on this drop down menu again and select text. After selecting text, I'll select equals. Then I'll change this value to formula. Then I'll enter this double quotation mark. Then I'll click on this plus icon for condition 2. I'll enter input and select input 2. So I'll be doing the same thing that I did for the first input. Change this one to text, select equals, then from value to formula and double quotation mark. So this is what I'm actually doing with this condition. I'm saying that if my input 1, this first input, is equal to empty string, I want to do something. If both equals to an empty string, then I want to do something. And this is what I want to do. I'll click on this plus icon again and go to opacity. If you can remember, the all fields are required, the error message, I set the opacity to 0 before. Then I'll go back to it. All fields are required. This is the frame for first. Then I'll set the opacity back to 100. So I start delay to 0.1 and duration to 0.3. I can actually change from ease in out cubic to just ease out. So I will select ease out back. I'll click on this plus icon again to add another condition that if these two input fields are filled, then they should be able to log in. I'll click on this select again. I'll click on input 1. I change this one to text. Before we use equals, equal to, but now I'll be using not equal to, and change this one to formula again and double quotation mark. I'll be doing the same thing for second input. So what do I want to do after this condition is met? I want to jump. I want to go to the next screen. What's the next screen? I'll select the screen here. That means I want to go to the home page. Then I'll set this one to start delay of maybe 2. And there's something I forgot to add rather. I want to add an opacity again. What do I want to do? I want to clear this error message and I'll set the opacity to 0. That if this condition is being met, then clear this error message for me before going to the home screen. So I can set it to 3. I'll do ease out. Ease out back. Then that's it. We've actually make our login page to be more functional. So let's run it. I'll click on the login button first and see if our error message will actually come up. Here is our error message. Let me try to feed the email. and click on the login again. I'm still getting the same error. I'm filling the password and I'll click on the login again. It's actually working. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.